Britain's Information Commissioner Office has initiated an investigation into TikTok, Reddit and Imager regarding their protection of children's privacy. To help us unpack this update, we're joined by Dr. Karen Sutherland from the University of the Sunshine Coast. Good to see you. What specific concerns have prompted this investigation?
I think really they're worried about how these platforms are using children's data, and often these platforms are not really part of the conversation, so they're often overlooked. However, the Commissioner actually has fined TikTok in the past. I think it was $16 million in 2023 for the way that they were using children's data. I think the biggest fear is that, of course, privacy and security, but particularly on something like TikTok, the algorithm is so strong, so they're worried that if a child interacts with a certain type of content, they're going to then be fed that content again and put them in a bit of an echo chamber. They're really worried about the impact that social media platforms are having, but also what is happening with children's data.
Yeah, so what are the potential risks, though, of social media algorithms exposing young users to harmful content moving forward?
There are a range of things. There are many harmful messages online and many harmful groups online that often start with a pipeline to get people into their way of thinking. And so they often will create content to target children to get them into that pipeline, and then when the child actually interacts with that, they'll keep being fed that and they'll be gradually brought into that ideology, and it can be quite harmful ideologies at that. What are they doing with that data? Are they selling it to advertisers? There's all sorts of ways that it can be used.
But so how have fines in the past and these regulatory actions influenced TikTok's approach to data privacy, just as one example?
According to the reports that I've read, not a lot, because now the Commissioner is targeting them again because they're clearly not happy with the result of the last fine. So they're into it again. And it's interesting because targeting younger people is very concerning. So much the Australian government has, remember, put out that initiative to try and ban social media for people under 16. We haven't heard a lot of that lately leading up to the election, but it'll be interesting to see what comes of that and if they can do that.
Yeah, and interestingly, I think YouTube was actually not included in that ban of under 16s, but it's a discussion for another time. Moving ahead now, and Apple is set to launch iOS 18.4 next month, featuring some exciting AI-powered updates. Take us through a little bit about some of the key things we're expecting to see moving forward.
Language availability will be increased, so languages such as Japanese, Korean, Brazilian, Portuguese will be integrated as well. There's also the image playground is going to be much better than it is now, so that's a space where people can create AI-generated images and also enhance the ones that they've already taken. I've had a little play with the version I have. I need to spend more time on that. And then also there's that integration with ChatGPT and Siri. I've played with that too, and that's a bit clunky. So hopefully that is much better in the way that you can use it.
I understand priority notifications also looking to improve user experience by intelligently filtering alerts. I would love this because I get a lot of spam emails and all sorts of things.
That would be amazing, wouldn't it? And imagine even getting to the point where it knows you so well, it knows what it needs to put in your calendar and it knows your routine. That would be absolutely amazing. What's interesting with Apple is that they've really held off. They haven't rushed to these integrations like a lot of other platforms have. They've wanted to make sure that what they're doing is valuable, and a lot of AI platforms have just been rushing to market to be the first, but they've tended to take more of a staggered, steady approach, which I think is a really good go.
Yeah, the question remains though, will it be enough to take people to move from Android to Apple or just pick up the next version, do you think? It was the Genmoji thing.
They're thinking more about how users are already using it rather than adding all these new features, but looking at users' tasks and trying to enhance those and make them more efficient with AI.
More fast, more efficient. That's you and me. We'll speak again next week. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you.